So in today's featured orchid presentation, we do have the Habenaria orchid, and in specific, the Habenaria Medusa. So first we must note that the Habenarias are ground-growing orchids, also known as terrestrial orchids. Also, it should be noted that these type of orchids grow from tubers, and during the springtime you will find the new growth in which the foliage will grow up in a rosetta formation. And from that rosetta formation, you will begin to see a stem that eventually will turn into a spike. And the stem will grow and grow until it is ready to bud. And there you go. And after it buds, of course, it shall bloom. And you guys already know that I believe that beauty is found in your uniqueness. And if that is the case, this is one of the most beautiful and most unique orchids I have ever seen. I mean, let's take a closer look. Oh my goodness. I mean, taking a look at this, I don't know if this is an orchid species or if this is an alien species, because this orchid bloom is so out of this world. And do you guys see these fringes or these long hairs on this orchid? Oh my gosh, this creates such a visual interest that I could stare at this for days and never tire. I just love the way the petals radiate from this orchid. Just such an amusing flaring going on right here. And it makes you just want to touch it and play with it. At least it makes me want to do that. Because indeed, this is quite an interesting, amusing, and very fun orchid to have. And the colors on this orchid, you can see that the helmet at the very top, the head of that orchid, is green. And then you are also noticing that orangey, kind of brownish color right there in the center. And of course, the flaring of these long hairs are in that pristine white color. Again, just such a visual treat to the eye. And if we take a side profile of this bloom, you will indeed see that it does have a spur or a nectarine. And that is where the nectar would be stored for the pollinator to come and feed off of this orchid. And looking at this long orchid spike, I have noticed that the blooms will actually begin to bloom nearer to the bottom, and it moves its way up to the very top. And as you can see, there is quite an abundant amount of blooms on this spike. So it does have the capability of having such blooming power. You are going to get many of these unique blooms. Now, the bloom petals that do remind me of tentacles are actually very lightweight and very springy. So when the wind does blow, it does have that great movement in there. And when it blows and goes with the wind, you will actually almost see it come to life. Indeed, an alien species that is full of life right there. I tell you, I just cannot get over these very unique, these very outrageous, out of this world type of blooms that this orchid displays. And if you guys are in love with orchids that are unique and do not look like your average everyday orchid, this is indeed one of those orchids that I highly recommend. As a matter of fact, the Habenaria orchids in general just have some far out, outrageous blooms. So definitely, please check them out if you love these very unique blooms. I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode. And I would like to ask you guys what type of Habenaria orchids you have, because indeed there are a wide variety of them. And if you want some of these orchids, please also let me know which ones are on your wish list and why. I also want to let you guys know that I am on eBay selling some of these phenomenal orchids as well, so definitely if you're interested, please check me out on my eBay adventures as well. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys and also grow with you guys later. Love you all. Mwah.